Good afternoon, Yeladim, and welcome back to Children's Torah Stories. Do you remember what we learnt about last time? Gideon went and he chased away the bad people from Midian. Yes, he chased away, they went all the way back to Midian, and they could not bother the Jewish people anymore and steal all their food from them. Shalva, you have to go somewhere else, my sweetie. So, Gideon helped the Jewish people so much. And afterwards, they said to him, Gideon, you are the best. We want you to be our king. And Gideon didn't exactly say yes. He didn't exactly say no. He said, no, I didn't save you. Hashem really saved you. Well, that is a good one. Well, actually, he didn't even say that exactly. He didn't say, I never saved you. He kind of said, well, I did save you, but Hashem should be the king, not me. Well, that is true, but he wasn't so clear that, well, I shouldn't be the king. He was like, well, if you really want, I guess I could be the king a little bit. Maybe you can bring me some jewelry and we can make a special statue to remember how brave I am. What do you think of that, Yeladim? Should we build a gold statue for Gideon to remember how brave he is? I'm not sure about that one. Well, that's what Gideon starts saying. And then he says, well, you know what? Let's make that statue. And he had a son. Actually, he had a lot of children, we're going to see. And his son's name was Avimelech. Can you say that with me? Avimelech. Well, Avimelech means my dad is the king. So if he calls his son Avimelech, I think that sounds like he thinks he is the king because his son's name is my dad is the king. So it's a little bit like Gideon saying that he is the king of the Jewish people. Well, people did listen to him and they did do what he said. So he was a little bit like a king for the next few years. And in fact, they had 40 years of peace with the Midianites and the other bad people, being kind to them and not trying to be mean, because Gideon had been so strong for Hashem and chased them away for 40 whole years. They didn't bother the Jewish people again, and that was fantastic. But then, after those 40 years, some bad things started to happen. And this time, it doesn't even start with the Jewish people praying to idols again. Actually it does. The Jewish people go back to praying to idols, and they start forgetting about how kind Gideon was and how brave he was in fighting for them. Well, Gideon had a lot of children. Do you want to guess how many, Eladim? Try show me on your fingers. How many children do you think Gideon had? Do you think 5 children, 10 children, more, 20, more than 20? Do you think he had 40 children? He had more than 40 children. Guess how many? 70. 70. He had 70 children, Yeladim. That's almost a whole school. Can you imagine all those children having breakfast in the morning? 70 bowls of cereal. Can you imagine if they're going to go somewhere on a family trip? They'll need to have 2 buses to take all the children everywhere. He had 70 children. Well, most of his children were good. But one of them, as I said, was bad. And that was Avimelech. And Avimelech went to one of the big cities of the Jewish people called Shechem. Can you say that with me? Shechem. Avimelech went up to Shechem. And Avimelech said to all his family, you know what, guys? I think that I should be the boss of all of the brothers and sisters, of all the children of Gideon. And I think that everyone should listen to us. So we 70 children will be like the boss of the Jewish people, and I will be like the boss of the 70 people. And people thought, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And then he went to one of the idol places, and he says, idol people, please, will you give me some money? And when I become the boss, I will make lots of idols. Ooh, bad idea. But guess what? They said, okay, here you go, here's some money. Now he took this money and he went and he found some mean and bad people. And he said, mean and bad people, I will give you some money if you will do whatever I say. Oh, yes, we will do whatever you say, as long as you give us the money. Not to worry, I'll give you plenty of money to do all the bad things I will tell you. Well, that's great. We don't mind doing bad things. Yeladim, I don't like it when people say they're going to do bad things. Well, the next thing Avimelech said is, okay, now you need to find all my brothers and sisters, and you need to put them all in jail. And they all said, okay, we will. And they started going around to all the 70 brothers and sisters. So remember, the deal he made was the 70 brothers and sisters will be like the bosses of the Jewish people, and he will be the boss of them. Well, now he's put them all in jail. So who's going to be the only boss around? Him, Avimelech. What he did was quite clever, but very mean, to make himself the boss of the whole Jewish people. And he is going to be King Avimelech. That is his plan. Wow. While he was coming up with this plan, and everyone was coming together and deciding whether he was a king, there was one more brother who had managed to escape. And that brother's name was Yotam. And Yotam was the youngest of all the brothers. And so when Avimelech and his bad guys had come chasing after all the brothers to put them in jail, Yotam was hiding. And when they looked and looked, they did not find Yotam. So Avimelech says, one day we'll find Yotam, but in the meantime, I am going to be the king, and I will start with the city of Shechem, and then I will become the king of the whole Jewish people. And Yotam decided he needs to stop this. He needs to go and explain to the people why this is a bad idea. And what Yotam says, Yeradim, is really important. It's one of the most important metaphors of power. It's about what it means to be the boss of other people. Is it a good thing to be a boss of other people, or a bad thing to be a boss of other people? Show me with your thumbs, Yeladim. It's a good thing to be a boss of other people, or a bad thing to be a boss of other people? Some say good, some say bad, and some say it depends. I agree with it depends. It depends who is being the boss and why they're being the boss. Sometimes people will be the boss just to help. After all, most of the time someone needs to be the boss so everyone can do the right thing. And so sometimes you need one person to do it. But sometimes someone wants to be the boss so that they can tell other people what to do all the time and be mean. Well, this is the story that Yotam told. Yotam went up onto a mountain called Har Grizim, which is right by where Shechem is. And Yeladim, I must tell you, I actually went to Har Grizim in Israel, and I looked over where Shechem is. It's a real city right there today. I went to Har Grizim, I looked over Shechem, I stood maybe right nearby where Yotam stood when he told the story. But Yotam went up and he said, people of Shechem, listen to me. I must tell you something very important. And if you listen nicely to me, then I think Hashem will listen to you. This is my story. Are you ready to hear Yotam's story? This is a story about the trees in the forest. Well, one day, says Yotam, one day all the trees got together and they said, we should have a king of the trees. We should have one tree who is the boss of all the other trees. Who should we ask? I know, the olive tree. The olive tree is a great tree. It's quite big, it's got lovely leaves, and it grows a very important fruit. Do you know what fruit the olive tree grows? Olives! How did you guess? You guys are too clever. Well, they went to the olive tree, and they said, olive tree, will you be our king? And the olive said, no. Even though I give such an important fruit, why should I be better than anyone else or the boss of anyone else? No, I will not be the king of trees. I would rather just carry on sharing my olives with people. So they said, okay, let's go to the fig tree. Fig tree, amazing tree, beautiful big leaves, grows also very big, has the sweetest fruit. I bet you don't know what fruit grows on a fig tree. Yes, figs. How did you know that? You guys are obviously experts at botany and what kind of trees are which. Well, they said to the fig tree, will you be the boss of us? And the fig tree says, I am busy making the sweetest, most delicious figs in the whole world. Why should I stop making my delicious figs and go be the boss of all of you? So they said, okay, fine. Then they went to the grapevine. The grapevine is also a kind of tree. And they said, grapevine, please will you be our king? Guess what the grapevine said? Yes or no? No. I am already busy with what I make. Do you know what 2 delicious drinks we make from the grapevine? There are 2 drinks that come from the grapevine that are so nice. One is grape juice and the other one is wine. So the grape said, I can't go be the king. I am busy. I'm busy doing good things, making grapes for grape juice and wine. I don't have time to go and be the king over everyone else. So they said, okay, fine. So then they went to a little mean old thorn bush. And they said, little mean old thorn bush, will you be our king? What do you think the thorn bush said? The thorn bush said, yes, I will be your king. And now you must all listen to me, or else I will make a fire and burn you all up. What a kind thorn bush, hey? No, that's not good at all. But you know what that story is about, Yeladim? That story is about saying, be careful of people who want to be the boss. Because a lot of the time, the ones who are doing the best things, like the grapevine and the fig tree and the olive tree, they're doing such good things that they don't want to be the boss of someone else. They just want to carry on doing their good things. If somebody wants to be the boss, why is that? Maybe they're really like a thorn bush. Maybe they really don't have anything good to do for themselves. And that's why they just want to be the boss of other people. And they will not be good bosses. Well, that is what Yotam is saying to the people about his brother Avimelech. You must be careful. My brother Avimelech is like the thorn bush. He's not an olive tree or a fig tree or a date tree or a grapevine who's making wonderful things for everybody. He's a thorn bush who can't do anything good himself. So he just wants to be the boss of you. And once he is your boss, he will just tell you what to do, or else you'll be in big trouble. Is that the kind of king you want? Is that the kind of king you want, Yeladim? I do not think so. Well, that is what Yotam said. And he said, do not listen to him, because you can see what a bad guy he is. He already tried to put me, and he did put all my brothers and sisters in jail. So please do not listen. If you are good, then you will have a good life. But if you are bad and follow Avimelech, then things will go very, very bad for you. And after he said that, he ran away to another place where he stayed and hid. Well, the people of Shechem were not sure afterwards. They started thinking, on the one hand, Avimelech is kind of the king, and we did help him become the king, and he is being nice to us. On the other hand, what Yotam says makes sense. Maybe we shouldn't carry on listening to him. Well, they thought about it, and they thought about it for 3 years. During those 3 years, Avimelech was kind of a king. But then, after those 3 years, the people of Shechem said, Avimelech, we have decided we do not want you to be our king. We will take care of ourselves. You can go. Bye. Avimelech says, oh no, you don't. I've got my mean people who will do whatever I say. And if you don't make me the king again, I will put you all in jail. And the people of Shechem said, well, come and try. We will chase you away. Yeladim, what is going to happen? Is the bad Avimelech going to be able to take over Shechem again? Or are the people of Shechem going to be able to chase him away? I wish I could tell you now, but we are out of time. No. But don't worry, I will tell you again on Sunday. I wish you all a wonderful Shabbat. Bye.